in part 2 of the video relating to teaching of jurisprudence, would you like to enumerate, name a few standard books which the students must read?
There are quite a few standard books which of course the students must read. When I say must, he should of course start with this book, and this book will be the foundation to understand the subject in a more comprehensive and in a very better manner. The basic book which I would recommend is Edgar Bodenheimer. Edgar Bodenheimer. And then the second book is Annie Simons. Annie Simons. These are so fundamental that when you start studying these books, you will understand what of course is the relationship between this subject which is jurisprudence and the other subjects of course which are taught to you on a regular basis in your curriculum. So these books will enlighten you as to what is the object of studying jurisprudence, what is the purpose of studying jurisprudence, and why at all jurisprudence is such an integral component of your course, without which of course you cannot become what a true professional is all about.
Thank you. Professor, my next two questions, I'll tell you both together. One is, what are the teaching aids other than the classroom lecture in which this subject should be taught? In other manner, what would be the pedagogy? And secondly, are there some special places, offices, etc., where the students can go for internship?
Respected sir, I just want your permission because I just want to elaborate on the previous question you asked with your permission.
Yes,
if I can just give the students, the teachers, a holistic understanding of what exactly is this jurisprudence. So here I want to say that when we talk about jurisprudence, the knowledge of law, whether the methods used in the natural sciences can be used to understand law, what exactly is the epistemological background, what exactly is the foundations to understand the subject. For example, in jurisprudence we study the relationship between the law and the state, the law and the society, and the ethical foundations of law, the moral foundations of law. So here, whether law is a descriptive science or whether law is a normative science. So these of course are very interesting and very important questions for the students and the teachers to understand, so that they can of course become the ambassadors in future to spread this type of knowledge amongst the law community, so that the community can develop in a more comprehensive and be beneficial not only to themselves but also to the society in which they of course are living.
Yes, the second part was with regard to internship.
Yeah, internship. So far as internships in jurisprudence is concerned, because of course it gives you the critical input. Now what I would say, because I want to be different in this answer to the question which is posed by sir, here I would say that, there are no exclusive internships for jurisprudence as such. But when you go to practice or when you go to some internship in a particular company or in a particular multinational organization, this jurisprudential inquiries into exactly what is that particular commercial transaction, what exactly is meant by that particular intellectual property, what is the moral significance, ethical significance, the social significance. So this type of knowledge, a critical input that definitely would serve the interest of that multinational company or a corporation in a much better manner. And the students who of course are good in jurisprudence, they would excel the other students, and I am 100% confident that these inputs will definitely make you a better qualified person, and a better person who of course the management will want to continue with you, because you are giving that critical inputs which of course are, in my opinion, cannot be given by those other students who are not inducted basically into the subject of jurisprudence.
Professor, your enthusiasm, your interest in this is really sort of heartwarming. And my next question is that how can the confirmation or assessment, typically known as examination, for this course should be arranged?
Again, this is perhaps the most important question, because when in my 30 years of teaching experience, I had seen that jurisprudence of course is not that much a very appreciated subject or that much discussed subject because it's such an academic subject. That's what they feel. But then I don't feel it's only having an academic uh, uh, quality. It has got a professional enrichment quality also, which of course very few people know in this particular discipline. And so far as the examinations are concerned, this examination will develop a critical inquiry. That means what exactly is the relationship between law and morals? Now, why every moral is not law? Which type of morals can be converted into law? What is the interrelationship between law and justice? For example, when we talk about distributive justice, so we of course will ask you what are the foundations of distributive justice. And here, the questions will be in such a way which will of course make you think as to what is not in the book or what is not in the statute. It will enrich your knowledge to such an extent that you are in a position to make a statute yourself. That means you are in the position of a lawmaker instead of studying, not only studying the law. Now that will give you, the question will be from the critical perspective which will ask you to think with regard to the question that are asked, and then a critical analysis, a critical inquiry, and finally when you answer that particular question, you feel that completeness inside you, which will give you the confidence not only to understand the law, but also to critically evaluate the law, appreciate the law, and point out what are the merits and the demerits of the law, so that way the country can also benefit from your policy making abilities, and you can guide the country in a much better manner.
Thanks.